Hello everyone, I'm Jay,
I'm Val.
and we are in St. Charles, Missouri. And we found this old building that used to be a J.C. Penney's in 1896.
And is now a soda museum.
Yeah, and we're going to check out some old soda bottles,
Some old soda machines.
some memorabilia.
And we're even going to try a soda that was discontinued that they're bringing back.
The night's young, it has just begun. As she puts her hand in mine, we wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
So when you walk into the soda museum, you go to the left side and they have a full display, and chronologically it starts in the 1890s and goes to the 1920s, I believe.
So at one time, Coke was considered the ideal brain tonic. And this clock right here was actually made in 1891. The company was only 5 years old when this clock was made. And this is literally made out of paper mache. It could just crumble if you touched it.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. That's why they put glass in front of it. I'm like a bull in a china shop. There's no way I'm touching that.
This is absolutely amazing. It is one of the oldest items that they have in here from Coke, and it is so unique and so cool.
So I'm going to do my best because a lot of the stuff is behind glass, so hopefully it doesn't glare too bad. But this metal sign right here, they say it's the first known metal sign produced by Coca-Cola, and it was produced in 1897. So guys, check this out. This is a very, very rare piece. This piece here you would find at the pharmacies, and it would be filled with Coca-Cola syrup. And if you see the glass here, there's a little line, and that's how far you would put the syrup in the glass. Then they would take it and then they would add a carbonated water to it. Now they were saying that Coca-Cola would lease these out to the pharmacies and then ask for them back, you know, when they were done, and the pharmacies would never give them back. So very rare to find this. So these are a bunch of Coca-Cola memorabilia from these would be in the early 1900s.
So these here are actually from the 1930s, and you can tell the difference in the way the women dressed on the signs. But to know that this is in a collection, this is amazing.
So Tom Smith Jr. is the one that owns this collection, and he has about 35% of the collection in the museum. So he has way, way, way more to share.
So this particular piece, number 28, is actually the very first piece that he bought at the age of 10 years old back in 1984. He spent $50 on this piece, and his collection grew from there.
So guys, check out this puzzle. It was made by Hallmark in 1986 for Coke's 100th anniversary. And look, it's in two parts. It's a huge poster right here, puzzle, and then they have a smaller puzzle right here. Some of the tops of the puzzle is cut off, some of the bottom of the puzzle is cut off, so that's why they have the two on display here. And what the Soda Museum did was they reproduced the puzzle in authentic items over here in a shadow box. So Brian Wilkinson of North Carolina actually replicated the puzzle. They built basically a shadow box and put every single item that you would see in the puzzle into the display. And it's actual. So these are all authentic pieces, and they all match the puzzle. How cool is that? See this keychain right here? This was the last piece to complete everything in this display. And Brian found it in Kansas. They're very rare, and somebody had it, and he got it. And this is really cool to me. Check this out. This is actually like a printing press for the Coke logo. See, if you look at it, this right here is printing the Coke logo right here. So guys, check out these soda machines. They start 1910, and as we go around, they'll get as new as 1980s, in the 1980s. What a collection, right? Look at all of this. All the different models, all the different styles. And as we go through the decades, all the different changes. And obviously, not everything is Coke here. It's all different soda brands. This is Pepsi. Check this one out. This is Nesbitt's California Orange. Wow. As we get to the end here, there's some Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and you know what? I'm always up for a good chocolate milk. Wow, wow, wow. And this is all just sitting in the middle of the soda museum. And Tom owns all of this. What an investment. I know Tom said that he has been collecting for about 4 decades. Oh, look at this one too. Look at Royal Crown RC Cola. So cool. All right, so this is really cool here. This is a vending machine from 1926, and Coke, before that, used to put all of their bottles in wells. So they would put the ice in the wells, Coke bottles in, and then when you bought your Coke bottle, it would be wet and drip and get all over you. So this was a solution. You would actually take a Coke that was warm, and you would put it into a slot here and push down. And when you did, you would get an ice cold Coke from the other side. What they would do is they would put ice in the bottom, but yet the bottles would never touch the ice, so no drippage. Everything dry, but you still got an ice cold Coke. So this machine here is really special and very rare, and the reason why is because a lot of them were destroyed. This machine was in the segregation era. So there was a whites only side and there was a blacks only side on this machine. Now, this machine here was in a warehouse, so that's why you don't see those labels. But what you will see though is the machine looks identical from one side to the other. It's literally the same machine from both sides.
So now check out this Pepsi machine. Doesn't it look kind of familiar? Big difference is it's 5 cents a bottle instead of 10 cents. So Jay, what's the story behind this?
So the story is, as we look at this Pepsi machine, it looks very similar to the Coke machine, doesn't it? Now Valerie pointed out that it was 5 cents instead of 10, and that's about the only difference. So the story goes that Pepsi would just steal Coca-Cola machines, they'd repaint them blue, they would put their logo on the machine, and then they would black out anything else that would be like Coca-Cola, like right there, it's just a black button. Then they would go and they would sell themselves to the different businesses and say, hey, I have a cheaper product. And that's why it's 5 cents. But this is actually a Coke machine turned into a Pepsi machine. So guys, this confirms it right here. This is not a Pepsi machine. It was actually a Coca-Cola machine. And you can find that with the logo on the inside of the door here. Look, it's right inside with the insulation. I don't know about you though, but I'm kind of geeking out just to see the inside of this thing. Now, from what we learned, this happened all the time. And Tom told us that it's kind of lopsided though. More Coke machines turned into Pepsi machines than Pepsi machines turned into Coke machines. So Val, check out this wall here. It is full of Coke buttons.
Yeah, these are absolutely so cool. All different shapes, sizes. Well, they're all the same shape, but all different sizes.
Yeah, they're all different designs too, right?
Yeah.
That's one big Coke bottle right there. It says 6.5 fluid ounces. I don't think that's it. It might be 6.5 million fluid ounces.
So you got to check out this A&W root beer neon sign. This is ginormous.
So Val, check out all of these like soda fountain dispensers. I mean, from Coke to Orange Crush to Pepsi. He has a little bit of everything. What do you think about that?
This is amazing. He even has like Dr. Pepper. He's got a brand up there called Drink Hires Root Beer, a brand I've never even heard of. There's so many different ones that he has. I don't even know how to explain this. This is amazing. So this is something I have never seen, never knew that it existed. Coca-Cola candy, Coca-Cola cigars, and Coca-Cola chewing gum. I never knew any of that existed. What about you?
No. I mean, this is way before our time, Val. So in this display here, it's Coca-Cola radios. But what caught my eye, Val, check out this tape recorder.
I had a tape recorder like that, but not a Coca-Cola one.
So here at the Soda Museum, you can see all of the different syrups. Well, at least the empty bottles of the syrups with all these different brands, right? Canada Dry and Knee High and Rio, White Cap, Heart Club, Golden Moon. Down here they have A&W Coca-Cola. It's not Coca-Cola though, it's A&W Cola. Tab. Fresca. I was a big Fresca fan. I love the grapefruit soda. So guys, check out this 10-gallon bucket, tin bucket of Grapeette. Now, have you had Grapette before? If you have, tell us where you found it and did you like it? Leave a comment down below and tell us all about your experience with Grapette. Now, I know here at the Soda Museum, they're bringing back a lot of discontinued flavors and brands. And from what I understand, they have this. So maybe we will try it for ourselves. All right, guys, so there's also a huge collection of ice chests. All different styles. Most of them Coca-Cola, but not all of them Coca-Cola. We got some Pepsi. We have some RC Cola right here. We got some Dr. Pepper, that dreaded Grapette soda. That one there says drink double cola. No thank you. I have enough caffeine today. So this ice chest here is Werner's Ginger Ale, and it was the first soda ever. 1867, 1868, give or take a year or two. And Hires Root Beer was the first root beer, 1876. Take that, A&W.
So Jay, it's time for a cold drink.
Hey Val, you know that machine is from the 1950s. I wouldn't drink that.
Could be good.
Well, guess what? You go for it.
So in the 1950s or early 60s, Veep soda was actually Coke's lemon lime soda. It got phased out in 1964 when they brought the more popular Sprite in.
Guess what? I made it into their back room storage. Don't tell Tom anything. I'm in the back storage right now. Let's check this out. So on this wall here, these are all like chalkboards, sandwich boards, where different businesses would put their specials. They would tell you their sandwiches for the day, all collected by Tom. And right now it's in the back room because he's still working on the museum. Remember, we said it was 35%, and all of this stuff is going to find a place at some point in the museum. Really, really cool. I mean, look, he's got bottles. He's got more clocks. Anything that he can pick up, he picks up, and then he stores it back here. And I got in. Don't tell him though. Look at all these signs back here. And I don't care what anybody says. Look at that, man. El Toro! Look at that. He's got a full collection of calendars back here. Look at all of this stuff right here. This is all stuff that he has to go through, figure it out, and then put it on display, right? And let's be honest, when it comes to a collection, the collection never ends. So I'm sure one piece goes out of this back room, 10 more pieces are going to end up in this back room. Not for nothing, I hope Tom sees our video. He's got to clean this up. This is messy. What the heck, Tom? Look at that. Those are all thermometers from all kinds of different soda brands, right? Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, our local Vess, Coke. I'm not gonna lie though, this is so cool. They are so nice to let me back here and see all of this stuff that most people don't get to see. Guys, this is really cool. Look at the Denny machine. It was a cross promotion between Hot Rod Magazine, Levi's, and Coca-Cola. In 1976, they had a sweepstakes. They made 10 of these Denny machines and had 10 different winners. How cool is that? So in this display here, this is Max Headroom. And I believe he was the original AI.
I think so. Just seeing this brings back memories. It takes me back to my high school days. So back in the 1930s, I think it was 1932 to be exact, they came up with a bottle koozie. So the women would get upset about having to pull the bottles out of the ice baths. They'd get their gloves wet, their blouses wet, and they came up with a bottle koozie so you could pull it out and put it straight in here. And yes, it's paper, but it would help keep their hands dry and not get all the water and ice around on them.
All right, guys, so a part of the museum is all of these bottles. And as we go along here, all the bottles are not the same. They have different colors. And what I learned is that different minerals in the sand, before they became glass, would determine the color. So the original Coke bottles were actually orange, and the reason why is because there was a mineral that would turn the glass orange when they produced it. How cool is that? Of course, they've got all kinds of different sizes, all the different promotions, right? Look at all that Diet Coke right there. That's all I can drink now is Coke Zero and Diet Coke. Thank you, diabetes. So guys, you want to know another fun fact? That one of the minerals in Atlanta, Georgia would turn the bottles green, and Coke branded Santa Claus. And that's how we got the green color for Christmas. Thank you, Coca-Cola. Thank you, Atlanta, Georgia. So guys, more Coke bottles over here, but these Coke bottles have like special events on them from all over the country. Usually when you see these kind of bottles, they're milestones or championships, or look at this. Joe Paterno, Sports Illustrated Man of the Year. Boy, if they only knew. This one's really cool too. Look at this. It's the glass with class. 1984. Fun story though. I actually had a Coke bottle collection. And it was an international collection. Actually, I had stuff from Canada, throughout all of the different world countries, you know, like Alabama and Texas and California. I mean, international stuff, guys. I even had one from the Nashville Zoo. How many people out there are patting me on the back right now? Not for nothing, but could the museum put all of the cool bottles on the floor? Jeez. I have to get low for this. We all know that I'm like 4'3" and I still had to bend over, guys. This shelf right here, Rondo Citrus Soda. I'm wondering if that was like the original Fresca. Tom Moore white soda. Rex Draft Root Beer. All right, what's going on here? You just put your name on the bottle and call it a soda? Come on, Mellow Yellow. Come to my rescue. So now we've made it down into the basement, and Val and I are going to actually try a soda that was discontinued and brought back. They have so many different varieties and brands and flavors. But this one's actually kind of cool. Look at this. Darkest Hour Black Cherry was made by Excel, and it was for the solar eclipse just this year in April. Well, actually last year in April, right? 2024. Pretty cool. And this one right here, I'll be your Huckleberry. It's Doc's Huckleberry Cream Soda. That's cool too. And check these sodas out. These are their international sodas. They're out of this country, not out of this world. And this one right here, Milkus, is actually cream soda with real cream in it. My goodness. I'm not sure, but I think I'm lactose intolerant. And guys, see that right there in the middle? That's Urge from Norway. And they brought it over to the United States and they called it Surge, which it fizzled out, no pun intended. But Norway still produces it, so they have Urge here at the Soda Museum.
So if you come down to the basement, you can try a variety of sodas. There's brand new ones. There's ones that have been discontinued that are coming back. So I went with one that went away and came back. I went with the Great Bet.
All right, Val, why don't you give it a guzzle and let us know how it tastes.
Very grapey.
Very grapey. So it's my turn to drink a soda. I chose Werner's. Werner's was the first soda ever, and they have it in 0 sugar. That helps me a bunch. Let me give it a shot and see what it tastes like. Oh man, did you hear that? That's called freshness. It's actually really, really good. It's ginger ale, so you have that ginger. It's a little sweet. You can tell that there's something added to it, even though it's 0 sugar. But overall, it's different. Like, I have not tasted a ginger ale like this at all, ever. Again, it was one of the first sodas, so hopefully this can wasn't from the first batch. So down in the basement, they have some vintage arcade games. Now, the price of the museum is $10. You can play all of these vintage games unlimited for $15, or if you want to bundle, you can get both of them for $20. Guys, just bundle it. Pay the $20, enjoy the museum, come down in the basement, enjoy some of the arcade games, and get yourself some snacks and some vintage sodas, and make it a whole experience. Wow, look at these old pinball machines. Over here they have a vintage bowling machine. Wow, look at that. Of course, skee ball, always a thing. This is really cool too. Look at this. It's a shuffleboard bowling game. Wow, look at how vintage that is. And remember guys, all of this is all you can play. Man, there is a bowling theme down here. Look at this. Bowling Queen pinball machine. Dang it.